Dr. Death. What a form, and Dr. Death now. And another one. Missy Hyatt's up on the ring apron for no apparent reason. I wish they wouldn't even let her at ringside. Dr. Death with a stampede. Dr. Death with a modified stampede, but he got it. It's preoccupied, as are a lot of men, with Missy Hyatt. Dr. Death planted Sting with that stampede, and even though Missy was up on the apron, ladies and gentlemen, the doctor is back.
What's your doctor? Selena. That's a killer. WBC presents That's Cool. Are you talking to me? Pro Wrestling Radio. Oh, it's so. Take it down. Oh, the damn goal. Call in with a question or comment. 6-1. Just bring it. What is he doing? At 1-888-922-2149. Oh, it's true. Don't make me hurt you. To be the man. You got it. That's hard time. I hate your ever. And now your host of the show.
All right, welcome to the second half of Pro Wrestling Radio, and it is an absolute honor and a pleasure to be joined by one of my favorite wrestlers of all time. He is the author of his autobiography, How Dr. Death Became Real Life. He is the good doctor, and he is paying us a house call. Dr. Death, Steve Williams. Doc, welcome to the show.
Hey, it's great to be here, man. What's going on up there in Philadelphia?
Not too much. We're very excited to have you. I had a lot of callers in the first half of the show that were really excited that you were coming on today.
Well, that's great. I'm glad to be with you guys, man. I just got done, good time, yeah. I just got done pumping iron for about an hour and a half, and gonna check out the old shopping mall, do a little Christmas shopping, check out the scenery, like the women.
I don't think anybody's going to be arguing with you over a parking spot.
Well, I'll tell you what, buddy, it's the greatest time to go shopping right now during Christmas because all the ladies are out there Christmas shopping.
There you go. That's it. Hey, right before, I want to ask you this. I didn't even have this written down, but right before I had you on, I had on Scott E. Williams, who co-authored Bill Watts' book. And he was telling me that you were his favorite wrestler growing up, and he used to go to the same Houston Coliseum, I think he said 30 times, to see you wrestle. And he brought up an angle which he said it was the first time he ever cheered for a heel, and it was with you. It was when you stole Crusher Khrushchev's medal, the gold medal, and then Terry Taylor beat him, and they made you give the medal back to Terry Taylor. And Scott said, as a wrestling fan, he's thinking, hey, he said he didn't have to give it back to Crusher Khrushchev. Why does he have to give it back to Terry Taylor?
That's right. We did that on TV, too, here at Shreveport, Louisiana, at the Boys Home. I remember real well was when Terry Taylor told me to give me back the medal, and I did. I gave it to him right across the head. I just laughed a dog wee right out of it, man. It was a great angle, and Scott, he's a great guy, man. What's great right now, I'll tell you, I've been out doing shopping and this and that, and seen a lot of people that are big wrestling fans right now, and they recognize me in the shopping centers and the Sam's and wherever I go, and boy, in the last few days, I just have had great compliments from some people that are old Mid-South fans that saw me, and I saw Jim Duggan, Junkyard Dog, some of the greats, man, just really put over that era, and it was great to just, it was a great feeling, you know what I mean?
Absolutely. Let me ask you, I started talking at the beginning of the radio show before you came on that you recently won the biggest match of your life, which some of your fans may not even be aware of, and you beat cancer.
Well, let me tell you something. That was the toughest guy I ever fought, and that's Mr. Cancer. On 03 of September, I was feeling under the weather, thought I had a bad cold. I've always had a rough, raspy voice, but it got really raspy, and I went to China in January of 04, and when I came back, it was really bad, so I went in and they did a biopsy to my throat and found out that I had throat cancer, and I was fighting it for some time now, and I just went in for my checkup 3 weeks ago, and I'm 2 years cancer-free, praise God.
God bless you. Congratulations.
Well, let me tell you something, buddy. I died 3 times out of this situation, so God's got a plan, man. And if you don't believe there's a God, look at me, because I'm a miracle, and God is in the healing business, let me tell you.
Yeah. I lost a parent to cancer, so I can relate, at least.
Sorry to hear that. I'm really
Thank you. As a family, yeah, it's a tough thing.
Well, I'll tell you what, man, it really blows me away that I go down to MD Anderson, I see so many people with cancer, and I can't believe we don't have a cure for it.
Yeah.
And there's so many people like Lance Armstrong out there collecting money to beat the cancer, and I mean, there's races, I mean, there's all things. It's a big business, but I just can't believe we don't have a drug that'll fight cancer. And I mean, we can beat HIV. I mean, well, there's so many things we can do now. We can send people up on the moon, but we can't beat cancer. That just blows me away.
Isn't that something?
There's got to be something, man. And there is something. God can beat it, man. I believe it. I'll tell you, when I was diagnosed, man, I had to fight for my life, and my best friend was our good Lord above, and he kept me going through this whole thing. I mean, a couple times I really did. Didn't know if I was going to make it, and boy, he perked me right back up. I got so much faith in our Lord now today that he's taken me to the levels that I never knew that I had,
Yeah. Now, I had the Cowboy on. I had Bill Watts on a few months back, and he has also found the Lord in his life and wrote a lot about it. Did he help you out as a mentor, or just as in any way for support during your battle with cancer?
No, and I'll tell you what, you're always blown away. Nobody really helped me through this thing except my daughter and my son and my brother and my family.
Wow.
I was fighting for my life, and they were all spread around. I was going down to Houston. My family was up here in Shreveport, and I had a brother down in Houston. But I'll tell you what, buddy, the one I really reached out to is God. I mean, he was my friend, my father. I mean, he was with me 24/7, and if I didn't have him, I'd probably be about 18 feet underneath the ground right now.
Wow, unbelievable! What a story! And I would assume that you write a lot about your battle and your faith in your book.
Oh yeah, I'll tell you, this book is going to be a great book. I'm not just saying that because it says my book, but it's about my life, and I'm not holding any punches. I'm not trying to hurt anybody. There's a lot of guys out there who wrote books and they don't want to tell the truth. Well, I told the truth. Back in our era, the 70s and 80s, where drugs was a big part of a lot of wrestlers' life to survive and run the road. I exposed that. I told people that how the business was back then, how tough of a boss Bill Watts was, and I don't know how a great boss Giant Baba was. So, probably one of the athletes that's accomplished a lot of things a lot of athletes haven't, and I have held every belt in this business. I've been in every major company. Been a Main Street mainliner. I mean, guys, look at me. I even got 3 belts that I retired. The UWF World Heavyweight title and the Herb Abrams belts. I mean, come on.
Yeah, you really have. That's something else. I know we've talked a little bit, and I know you're a big college football fan. What do you think about the success of your buddy Road Warrior Animals kid out there at Ohio State?
Well, that was great, man. I heard somebody told me he was on the sidelines, and I really don't know the gist of it. What is he getting a coaching job or?
I don't think so. I know his son is being projected to go high in the draft.
Oh, that'll be great. That'll be great for him. I know Animal's been back and forth with WWE and trying to hang in there with his brother, but I know Joe's gave his life over to Christ, and he's doing real well.
That's great. That's great. Listen,
I don't know if you guys know this, but I just got conducted to the Wrestling Hall of Fame.
No, I did not know that.
Yeah, it'll be July 14th and the 15th in Waterloo, Iowa. That's where Dan Gable and Lou Thesz and Brad Armstrong.
That's the real deal right there.
Yeah. It's going to be great, man. I'm looking forward to that.
Congratulations to you.
Thank you so much. It's just great. The book will be out, and then we'll go to the Hall of Fame. And boy, I just tell you, I can't thank God for so much of the things He's done for me right now. I'm just so blessed.
Wow, that's amazing. I know I can't wait to read the book and the whole story. Listen, I want to ask you. I got to take a quick time out, but I'm going to ask if you can hold on throughout the break. Then when we come back, we'll start hitting up different parts of your career.
Great.
All right, that'll be fantastic. Well, we are being honored and blessed by an appearance by the good doctor, Dr. Death Steve Williams. He has an autobiography coming out, how Dr. Death became real life. You can get that on Amazon.com. I have a link up at my website right now over at ProWrestlingRadio.com. We'll pick up where we left off with the good doctor when we come back from this quick timeout. You are listening to the radio show in a couple of different places. One, live on the internet on WBCB1490.com. On my website, archived at ProWrestlingRadio.com. On the air on WBCB 1490 AM.
And here's Eric.
Thank you very much, Bill Melody. And don't forget that following me at 1:30 will be Bill Melody and the Country Music Hall up until 6 o'clock with all the great country music exclusively here on WBCB. And for more information, check out BillMelody.com. And then at 6, he will turn it over to the Saint After Dark. And then Bill returns tomorrow morning from 5 to 10 a.m. All right, we are speaking with the good doctor, Dr. Death, Steve Williams. And, Steve, a question that I get asked a lot by callers that call into the show, and I've been very fortunate to ask both Dusty Rhodes and Bill Watts this question, is to why the feud did not happen, the invasion angle with the UWF and you and Ric Flair. And were you really surprised that they didn't do anything with the two of you at the time?
Do you know the truth about this situation?
Oh, well, I've heard Bill Watts' version, I've heard Dusty's version, so I'm sure the truth's in the middle.
Well, let me tell you the truth. When you're scared, say you're scared. If you're a mouse, squeak like a mouse. And that's what Ric Flair was when he wrestled me.
Gotcha.
They were going to unificate the belts, UWF, against Ric Flair's belt. I went in there and I wrestled him one time. And he squealed like a doggone pig, man. He thought he went against the toughest guy in the business, and he sure did.
Wow.
I gave him a couple of the good doctors right and left, and he couldn't go against the power. Ric Flair has wrestled everybody in the world. Never had a complaint. Never. He fought some battles. I've seen him.
Mm-hmm.
And then he went up against Dr. Death, and he couldn't hold his own end because he knew he'd lose the belt. And that's why there was a confrontation that Ric Flair did not want to keep that angle going, because he had such a end with Jim. Crockett. I was going to say Jim Cornette.
Yeah.
And Crockett, that he canceled that whole angle out. And I think it's funny when a guy has been all over the world, fought the toughest Japanese guys, the great Americans, and then all of a sudden he goes against... Sorry about that, I was outside my gym talking to you.
Oh, okay.
Motorcycle went by, but he just fought everybody, man, and then all of a sudden he goes against Dr. Death and starts squealing.
Gotcha. Well,
I have a lot of respect for Ric Flair, too. But I'll tell you what, I'd love to get a great angle with him. Just like a couple people that I should have went against this Stone Cold. I was promised a 6-month angle with him with the WWE.
Mm-hmm. That
fell through, too. But I ain't going to cry over no spilled milk. I've accomplished a lot of things that a lot of these wrestlers have never accomplished.
Absolutely. Let me ask you. Speaking of a little bit of the WWE, are you surprised at how powerful your former partner and opponent John Laurinaitis has become in the United States?
Yeah, it is amazing. It's a blessing, Johnny's done real well. He's holding his end, I don't know if the company's holding its own end, but they're trying to keep it above water. Johnny's done great, man. I got to give him a pat on the back. He's done real good. He even gave me the opportunity. Right now I'm training the WWE kids and the developmental group in Atlanta, Deep South, and Louisville. And so that's a blessing for me too. You guys can imagine, during this cancer, I hadn't worked for 3 years.
Wow.
So you can imagine what that did financially.
Oh, yeah.
So for Johnny to give me a spot to train these guys, that was a great blessing to give back to the business, what the business gave to me. And I really enjoy doing this because the kids really respect me. And I'm trying to teach them the art of the business. Everybody can do a power bomb. Everybody can jump off the top rope. But there's an art to this business. Until these kids get it, they ain't gonna make it up there to WWE.
Is that how you would explain how great your matches with Kenta Kobashi turned out to be? Just the timing of everything that you guys did together in your matches?
Well, I know you probably saw that match in 1990. I think it was 1999. One went 29 minutes and 30 seconds. It was the best match of the year.
Oh, yeah.
Buddy, if you don't call that timing and the skill that both of us went through, I mean, that was a heck of a match. I watch it probably once every month, man, because it's just a great, exciting match, you know, to watch. And, you know, even working with Misawa, Koala, I mean, all them guys, it was all timing. It wasn't like trying to make the match out in the locker room. I mean, they spoke Japanese, I spoke English, so, you know, we went out there and we battled each other and we complimented each other in the ring.
Yeah.
Brother, let me tell you, I enjoyed working for Japan. I mean, I enjoyed 18 years of it. No complaints here.
And you were just working for Japan right before you had your battle with cancer with the IWA, weren't you?
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what happened. You know, I got a spot for Pride. I don't know if anybody knew this, but they honored me to come in and fight the Russian.
Emelianenko?
Yeah, from Pride. And so I went ahead and did it. I was fired up. I was gunned up. And then the night before the match, my daughter called me from USA, and I was in Japan, and she said that I had cancer.
Wow.
You can imagine what that did to me. All I could think is that I was going to die.
Wow.
I didn't know if there's any more living here or what was going to go on with my life. I went in that ring, and I literally got knocked out in 23 seconds.
Yeah.
I took 4 knees to the head. I was still standing. I went out and hit the mat. I was still standing, but the refs called the match. But I look at that match, and I go, geez, that's amazing that I could even stand after I took 4 knees to the head. But my game plan was gone. As soon as I was told I had cancer, I was done. I didn't have any of the doctor in me, so, you know, I have no crying over spilled milk either. That was a great challenge that I got to go in there and try the Pride. And I wish I didn't go through cancer. I wish I could come back and fight him again. But, hey, you know what? Now I'm fighting people to Christ, and what a blessing that is.
Wow. Let me ask you, just out of curiosity, what was your game plan to go in there against Fedor?
Well, what it was is to bring him down to my size. I mean, not my size, but bring him down to the mat. And amateur wrestle him, take them legs out from underneath him. And what happened was, when I got that cancer in my mind, what I did is I shot forward instead of shot outside on him, just single leg. My mind wasn't in the game. When I went forward, that knee was right there for a good headshot, you know.
Wow.
But I was so geared up, and all my game plan was working at practice. So when I was working over in Japan, everything was going great. It just it went out right out the door after you heard that big C word.
Yeah, absolutely. Let me ask you this. If you can, I know I only have 5 minutes left with you, but one of the most infamous stories involving yourself is in your earlier years, the car accident that you were in with Rick Steiner where you saved somebody's life.
Well, I'll tell you guys, man, I'm so blessed. Look at that story. I saved some Army guy from a burning flame. 2 people burned up. two other guys got crushed in the car, and we saved one guy from Fort Polk Air Base. I guess it was Air Base. It was Army base down there. But, boy, that was a great deal, man. And, you know, I got to tell you guys this, man. I don't know if everybody knows this, but you can book me off my website. I'm out there ministering down around churches doing my testimony. Been to boys' clubs. So if you guys ever need somebody to come up and out to your church or some boys' clubs, I'm out there, and I love to tell my testimony.
Absolutely. What's your website?
It's oakstampede.com. OKLASTAMPED.com.
Awesome. I'll throw that up on my website as well if anybody, didn't have a chance to write it down or anything like that.
Well, I appreciate that. It's a great website. You guys can check out my whole history.
Yeah, no problem, no problem. I know there are, you still have a lot of fans out there, and you were talking a lot. I know I only have you for a couple more minutes, but we were talking about your potential match with Fedor and MMA. What do you think about the whole explosion over the last couple of years, especially in this country of mixed martial arts?
Well, I think it's amazing, man. I see it on TV that the bride's coming here and all that. I think it's great, people are getting tired of the same old thing, and and I'm not cutting down WWE. It's got its own special fan, but people want to see that hard fighting again.
Yeah.
Like old Mid-South used to be. Boy, we used to beat the crap out of each other.
Right. Yeah, definitely. When you first got into Mid-South, how important was it to the rest of your career to be surrounded by those kind of guys and to be led by a guy like Bill Watts?
Well, I'll just tell you, I had a lot of respect for the business. I protected the business. When you have a boss like Bill Watts, and I was a protege, and when the guy told me when he first met me, he says, "This is how you make a living. This is how you take care of your family. You protect it just like you protect your family." And that's the way I did it. That business, it took care of me and my family to deal with like Hacksaw Jim Duggan, Ted DiBiase, Terry Taylor, even Ugandan Warrior, Kamala. Matter of fact, I'm running a show here in Shreveport January 19th. And we're bringing in some studs to come for that show. I was just talking to Kamala, man, and just think about all the great matches we had back there with Ernie Ladd. I mean, King Kong Bundy, man, was that the greatest?
Yeah. It was it's my favorite stuff. It was my favorite stuff to watch growing up, to read about in the magazines and to watch on the videotapes now. I mean, even today, so many years later, it all still holds up.
About the feud against the Rock and Roll Express and the Midnight Express.
Yep.
You don't see that now, and the way I describe it to everybody,
Hey Doc, hey Doc, I hate to cut you off, but I just realized I'm up against the clock, but I'd love to have you back on sometime.
I'd love to come back anytime you want me to come rap with you and your friends and your families. Hey, come on, I'll talk to them.
Most definitely. Listen, Doc, congratulations, to everything. I mean, boy, what a blessed life you're having out there right now.
Praise God. I'll tell you what, I am so blessed, and I thank all the fans for all the emails and all the prayers, man. You people are great.
Well, thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of your Thanksgiving weekend. I'll throw up your information on my website, and we'll have you back down the line.
Hey, great, and everybody have a wonderful holiday and a safe one, and God bless you all.
Wow, thank you very much. Steve Williams, thanks again.
Thank you.
All right, take care. Dr. Death, Steve Williams, checking in on Pro Wrestling Radio. What an incredible story. Well, that will about do it for me. I'm going to turn it into another incredible story. Bill Melody with the Country Music Hall up until 6 o'clock. Then Brooks St. Ives with the St. After Dark. And then Bill's back tomorrow morning from 5 to 10 a.m. And I will be back next Saturday at 12:05, and we're going to do another extended 90 minutes, schedule permitting. We'll get another guest on. We'll get another analyst, and we'll have a lot of fun. And as Bill Watts would say, we'll hook them up. Have a great weekend, everybody. We'll see you next Saturday. Everybody will see you next Saturday. Everybody will see you next Saturday. Everybody.